People do want to know what's going on. And unless you want to be performing in your living room to your mum and dad and your cat, you have to get over yourself.
This is The Business of Art.
G'day, Paul here with The Business of Art, where creativity and commerce come together. This video is part 4 in my conversation with Marketing Specialist Sherryl-Lee Secomb. Now, if you haven't seen the other parts of this video series, I will link them up in the show card above and also in the description below, and I definitely encourage you to go back through and watch all of them. In this video, Sherryl-Lee talks about building relationships and disruption marketing and how those two things can come together for your marketing strategy. So, let's get into it.
So this assumption that I'm interrupting and I'm doing something, no one wants to see me, I don't want to market to you, is wrong. People do want to know what's going on. And unless you want to be performing in your living room to your mum and dad and your cat, you have to get over yourself and show and tell people that you exist. So many theatre companies forget that they're part of a community.
That's so
and
true.
How valuable. I mean, out in that community is all these residents to begin with around you that want to be entertained. There are local councillors and politicians that want to influence. There are local businesses, large business with social group in-house. There's going to be someone who manages a social group. You know, they have social outings.
What do you mean by a social group in-house?
Well, if you have a company with 400 or 500 employees, they often will have, HR will have...
like a staff social club.
Yes,
gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. So you want to find out who heads that, who looks after that, introduce yourself and say, look, we put on, shows, it's good value, and I'd love to be able to, offer that to your group. If you want to fundraise for the group, we can do this for a price and you can sell it at that price, and, we can work with each other. It's sort of, I'd love to offer you this. Schools. There's just so many people out there.
So let's talk about that for a second. So how would someone go about building a relationship with the residents in a local community, the businesses in a local community? And when you say the community, what do you mean? Talking around the venue where they predominantly rehearse, or...
Pick one. If you are in a specific geographic location, that's where if you're a touring company, that's a whole different form of marketing anyway. Find a home and then work out from there. They tend to go, I want the world. You can't chew that big. So start inwards and build your loyal following and let it trickle out. It's like Seth Godin says, that you are only looking for that very small group of initial responders who will then influence others. It's being human in a local community. So it's like developing a friendship. You don't go to a barbecue and meet a new person and instantly ask them for something. You go there and you tell them about yourself.
You mentioned a local baker. I'm producing a show somewhere locally that is near that baker. I just rock in and say, g'day.
Yeah, that's literally it. It's like moving into a house and introducing yourself to your neighbours. You're building your place within the community. So if you go into the baker, the first thing he's going to think from experience is you're going to want something.
Yep. True.
So you're instantly going to disrupt, and disruption is such a major element in your marketing.
So what do you mean by that?
Okay, so disruption, I liken it to being in a cafe full of people who are all doing what you expect them to do in a cafe, drink coffee and talk. So if you're going to disrupt that group and let them notice you, you're the one that's going to stand on the table and sing and dance. Now, it doesn't matter how good you are. You don't have to be a good singer and dancer. It doesn't matter what music is playing. What matters is that you are now doing something entirely unexpected in that setting. You're not hurting anyone. You're not doing anything rude. You are just disrupting.
Going into this bakery, what's disruptive in...
Well, if you look from experience, as I said before, if he's expecting you to ask for something, the instant, easily disruptive thing is not asking for something. It's going in there purely and saying, hi, this is who we are in the local community. This is what we do. I just wanted to pop in and say hi and introduce ourselves. Really look forward to, connecting in the future. I love your business, whatever it is. But as you would with a real person. This is a real person, so make that connection. I guarantee they're going to remember that.
It doesn't have to be as extreme as dancing on a table, which would seem scary. It really is just doing the thing that somebody doesn't expect.
It is.
Which could just simply be not asking for something. It could
or
be that
sending
simple.
a thank you letter. It could be something in the post rather than an email. It could be a little thank you gift for whatever. It's doing what, in the old days would have been good manners. Now is not so normal.
No, that's true.
You know? Rather than asking what is disruption, it's probably easier to say, this is what everyone else is doing. Don't do that, do something else. That's disruption. Rather than trying to seek the disruption, just do what everyone else is not doing.
It's interesting. There's a phrase that I hear a lot in some of the entrepreneurial circles, which is different is better than better. And I think that kind of is what you're speaking to, that sense that if you're just doing the same as everybody else, you won't stand out.
No. You will naturally disrupt if you're coming back to that original point of being yourself. If you can do that and from inside out, build those relationships, have honest conversations, be nice, be kind, do all those things, it's naturally going to disrupt because it, unfortunately, in the world today is different.
Yeah.
So it's getting your head above water. It's being known, top of mind, but in an authentic way, not a manipulated way. So if you're looking to disrupt for the sake of disruption, you'll get it wrong.
This isn't everyone. This might be
these are specific businesses you want to develop
build
a relationship with
that you think might be able to serve your community of audience and help you connect to the audience that you want.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
But you're building a real relationship with them.
Yeah.
So it's not, we're a local theatre company, please support us and sponsor us, which, that gets old. It really does. And it's also short-term thinking because it's likely to be a one-off.
There we go, some more great advice from Sherryl-Lee in that video. A couple of big takeaways for me. Be authentic and don't be afraid to tell your story. People are interested and they want to hear. Build long-term relationships with your audience and with the businesses in your local community. Start small and build from there. And of course, do something different. I love that phrase, different is better than better. If you can find a way to disrupt people's thinking by doing something different, something that other people aren't doing, and it doesn't have to be outlandish, you might be able to cut through and make more impact. That's it. Thanks very much for watching. Of course, it would be great if you could hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. If you found this of value, there is probably somebody you know that would also find some value in it. So please tag them in the comments, share it with them, whatever you've got to do to pay it forward so we can keep helping each other out. Thanks very much. See you next time.